Black, brown, and HBCU bound. Your source for news you can use. Let's shine a light on the 207 HBCUs where culture meets excellence.
Hi guys, it is Yvonne Daniels here again for another episode of the Black, Brown, and HBCU Bound podcast. I am coming to you today with some information that we're going to respond to a post that we got in the Black, Brown, and HBCU Bound Facebook group. A lot of the times you'll find that I will get the comments, look through the comments to see what gets a lot of engagement, and realizing that might need some more exploration, bring it to the podcast. So today's episode, we're going to focus on senior year stress and the emotional and financial roller coaster parents face. This is going to come to you from one of the group members who posted, having a high school senior is the happiest, most draining, proudest, brokest feeling ever. And boy, did that resonate with me. I am a parent who put my kids through college, and I understand that because at one point in time, I was a senior mom to all of them, and I understand how trying that time is, so that resonated with me. So I'm sure it will resonate with a lot of parents because I see a lot of activity from parents of high school seniors and 11th graders. You too will be in that situation just in the blink of an eye. Sit back. I'm going to encourage you to take some notes, get a pen and paper. I am not going to promise you that what I'm going to say in this episode will be earth-shattering. I can't tell because a lot of the information comes off the top of my head just from my experience of being in your shoes at one point. But you just never know. I would encourage you guys to do that always. When people start talking, I start listening and writing and taking notes. Well, I'm always prepared to, because you just never know when somebody's going to drop a gem that might help you in a present situation or in a future situation. My recommendation to you is to get a pen and be able to take some notes. So sit back, try to stick around to the end, and try to see if we can try to help you figure some of these things out, because senior year is very difficult, not just on the pocketbook, but on your emotional being as well. We're going to try to get some of those things covered. And if you are the parent of a senior, most of a student that's already transitioned and is in the first, second, or third year of college, even fourth year of college, and you have some tips that you think can help the students or the parent after you, you know what we do here? We help each other. So if you have any tips or you can think of something that you wish you would have known when you were in this situation, please drop them in the comments. You just never know when you'll be able to help somebody who was standing in, whose shoes you were standing in just a short time ago. I would encourage you to do that. So sit back, like I said, take some notes, and we're going to try to explore this thing. I did take some notes because there were some things that I didn't want to be gloss over or forget. Senior year is not just about picking a college. It's more like planning a wedding, a retirement party, a moving out ceremony in one. It encompasses so many events in one. There's picture day, there's senior dues, there's college application fees. There's all sorts of things that are going to take a chunk of your money, and also a lot out of you emotionally. There's a lot of work to be done. There's challenging times in the sense that your high school senior is understanding that they're getting ready to branch off, and you as well. So there may be some friction in a relationship that might not have been there. There are just so many ups and downs. And that's why we talked about this like being a roller coaster, because it certainly is. And the parents that are in this are in the throes of it right now. It's as stressful for your student than it is for you. Just understand that you got to get through it. A lot of it's going to depend on being able to keep a cool head and just breathe and try to make some sense of it and keep your student encouraged while you stay encouraged as well. You will get through this. Most of us have been in your shoes. You will get through this. Trust me. I did it a bunch of times. It was painful, but on the other side, it can be quite prideful. Stick with me to the end, and we'll try to see how we can sort some of these things out. Let's see. The emotional ride of senior year. 1 minute you're crying, 1 minute you're broke. College application fees, managing acceptances, rejections even, that can be difficult. You spend all this money to apply to all these colleges. I'm going to encourage you, since we're focusing on HBCUs, everybody knows about the Black Common App. So little plug there, you can apply for a bunch of colleges for $20. So if you don't know about the Black Common App, they have a Facebook group. Head on over to their Facebook group. They're very informative over there. And you'll be able to apply to multiple colleges, multiple HBCUs for the fantastic price of $20. And as far as I know, I've been following them for a long time. My kids use them. It's been $20 for as long as I know. So you can't beat. That's the best deal in town. And tell Mr. Mason that Yvonne Daniels sent you. Yeah, do that. But managing the fees that go along with the prep and then the tutoring sessions and the college admissions process with the application fees visiting the schools, which I may or may not have mentioned, some of the fees and the downfalls of having a senior. And a few of you have multiples. I'm the mom of twins, so I recognize that as well. A few of you in the group have twins and triplets even, so it could be twice as hard or 3 times as hard if you're a parent of multiple children who are transitioning from high school to college at the same time. So not a good time. It is a good time. I should take that back. It is a good time, but it is a stressful time and it is an expensive time. But we hope to help you get through this. So let me look through my notes. Looking ahead, how is all of this going to pan out for the next 4 years and beyond? Living in the moment. Every day is going to seem as if there's another demand on your finances. Something's going to be a pull for money. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, it could be anything from senior dues, pictures, application fees, SAT fees, you name it. There's always another fee. And then don't forget about the graduation party, the fact that you're going to have to outfit a college dorm room if your student is going to be living on campus, transportation, just all kinds of things that are going to be eating at whatever monies that you have on hand or whatever monies that you have saved for this effort. You're going to have to take a deep breath and get through it. In terms of, we talk about what we just briefly mentioned, looking ahead and living in the moment. Oftentimes we look back, right? We wonder things like, did we do enough? Did we save enough? Did we prepare them properly to live on their own? A lot of you are, if you were anything like me, I still was waking up my kids to go to school every day, just biting my fingers saying, if I have to wake them up to go to school, how are they going to get out of bed when they're on campus? How can I trust that they'll be able to get out of bed to get to class? Nerve-wracking. I'm looking at this kid or these kids at different times in their lives. I'm thinking, are they mature enough to go away? Will they function in the world? You think that you do a good job, but then when it's time to transition them out of your home, that's when you really start to question, did I nurture them in the right way where they make smart decisions? Will they be able to have a successful transition without me nudging them and nagging them and staying on top of them? Because this is the time when you have to give them a level of autonomy where you have to say, I got to step back. You can still check. I would advise you to still check. I was more of a helicopter mom and they didn't like that. But I wouldn't say let them go because you do still want to check, but there's only so much you can check when they're not right downstairs or right upstairs in their bedroom. So you have these concerns. Did I do enough to prepare them for this moment? What I can say, if you are a senior, you still have some time. You still have some time. I don't know about lifelong lessons, but there are some things that you might want to work with your students and try to help them prepare for. If you're the parent of a junior, you got a little bit more time. Use that time wisely. Understand that they're going to be just a phone call away or even a drive away or a flight away, but they will be away and needing to make decisions that they won't have you to be able to be right there, right beside them, helping them make those decisions. Did you teach them enough advocacy? Did you fulfill them or fortify them with enough advocacy skill? Do they know how to stand up for themselves? Do they know how to ask for what they need or even recognize what they need? These are all things, all the emotions that you have to deal with as the parent of a high school senior. The cost of senior year and why nobody warned us. Nobody warns you. That's why we're here. I'm always going to encourage parents to do for you what I didn't have. I was a pilgrim in a sense. I didn't have the HBCU experience. I did have the college experience, but there are so many things that you don't know unless you recently just put a kid through school. And this is like your second or third time around in the last couple of years, you are just entrenched in this particular area where you've dealt with HBCUs, you are in a sorority or fraternity, so you're still in it. You're doing active work where you're helping students transition who are transitioning from high school to college. It's not an easy thing to just figure out and navigate on your own, which is why we're here. We want to be a resource. The notion that college is not cheap is not far from true, because it's 100% true. You have senior photos that could range from $300 to $1,000. You have application fees per school that can range from $50 to $100. College visits. I would recommend that you narrow your choices down. It's not really feasible for the average family to be flying all across the country to visit all these schools. What I would encourage you guys to do is to help your student narrow down some choices, take online tours, find out as much as you can about the school online. And when you come down to narrowing down them to what the ones that they're really serious about, then you might want to take a trip. And especially before they decide that's where they're going to go. Look, they're deceiving. They make things look beautiful. You want to feel for the campus. Your student wants to feel for the campus. There's something that you will miss if you go to a school sight unseen and the first day show up. You may not be happy with your choice. So I don't encourage that for anybody. But just keep in mind that there are expenses associated with visiting colleges. There's senior prom, like we mentioned before, there are graduation parties. There are other graduation parties from their peers. Everybody's going to have a graduation party. So you're going to find that just like when you're doing the Sweet 16 for the young ladies, where everybody's 16 at the same time, all your kids' friends usually are going to be graduating at the same time. And just you're probably going to throw a party. They're going to be invited to parties. And each of those parties are going to take gifts. A little tip that I can share, I don't know if you think it's a good one, but I'm going to tell you what I did. Every now and again, when I had a few extra bucks, I would just go buy a gift card and throw it in the drawer. Because there's nothing like being invited to a gift when money's tight, that particular week. And you're like, oh my God, now I got to buy a gift. I always got a gift card laying around, and that's the gift. So you got to keep in mind that is an expense. Especially if your kids got multiple friends, you will be invited to multiple parties. So keep that in mind as well. So again, there's college deposit, there's dorm room shopping, all sorts of fees. And you have to find a way to help get these things paid for. And GoFundMe's are not my route. I know people do it. Don't allow that in the Facebook group, Black, Brown, and HBCU Bound. But I'm hoping it wasn't your only plan. These are some things that a lot of these can't be avoided. You can get tips from friends. You can look online and be creative, because there are some things that you're going to have to, maybe you can take senior prom pictures. They don't have to be professional pictures. These days, people are really great with pictures, photography thing. You may not have to invest in professional pictures. I don't know that I would, because that is quite an expense. There's some things that can be cut down. Like I said, the application fees. If your student knows they're going to an HBCU, $20, you can't beat that. $20. There are some schools that are not affiliated with the Black Common App, but those then you might have to apply for separately. But what I would recommend is those schools that you do have the opportunity to visit, don't leave that campus without asking for a fee waiver or let them know that you were there. Attend as many HBCU college fairs as you can. A lot of times when you attend the fair, you can apply right there. And while you apply right there, the application fee is waived. So there are all kinds of ways that you can cut costs in that area. And if you don't have the opportunity to see them at a college fair, what you can do is write the school and you say, my name is whatever it is. I am a student who's interested in studying whatever your course of study would be. I currently hold a GPA of blank. And then you say to them, I've applied to multiple colleges, but my dream is to come to your college. But at this time, I don't have, my family's not in a position to come up with the application fee. Is there any way that you could extend a fee waiver code? And oftentimes they do. Or look out for weeks. A lot of times they have these promotional things where they'll have a week or a month of free application. There are all kinds of ways that you have to look to cut corners, even if you have the money. Do not pay if you don't have to, because there will be another expense down the road, and you might want to save your funds expenses, because there will be some that are not avoidable, okay? Graduation parties, that's just what it is. If you're going to be extravagant, you're going to be extravagant. If you're going to be lean, you're going to be lean, but you have to know what's right for your family and do what's right for your budget. Understand that the goal of this is to pay for college, so you don't want to go too far overboard, but you have to do, in that instance, what's right for your family's finances and your pocketbook. A lot of families on the fence about paying college deposit. I was in a different mindset because I don't like to close doors. So where I cut corners in other areas, I recommend that parents and students, whoever is the team that you're working with, if you're accepted to a couple of different schools, I like to tell parents, although leaving college deposits can be costly, when you narrow your choices down to one or two or three that you really would like to attend, but you don't know what the finances are, you may not know what the financial aid packet is completely, all your scholarship answers might not have arrived. I would encourage you, if you can afford it, to leave application and dorm reservation fees, dorm room fees, deposits, I should say, not the whole fee, but the deposit at as many places that you can afford. Don't go overboard. You're not going to do that to every school you applied for or every school that accepted you. But if you think that there's a possibility that you might end up at school A, leave your deposit. Leave your dorm room deposit, because dorms are a lot of times very scarce on HBCU campuses. And that's a stress that we may do an episode on that in and of itself, because securing a dorm room on campus a lot of times is just a stress that you don't want to deal with. Although there are some rules, college freshmen coming in, but you just don't want to be stressed. Narrow down your choices, and you can afford it or find a way to get it done. I would recommend that you leave college deposit, letting them know that you do intend to pursue their acceptance, just so you hold a spot. If something else comes up better, you will forego, or oftentimes will forego that money. But if it's something that you can afford to do, I would recommend that you do it. That's my personal tip. If you have, like I said, again, I've been out of the game a little while. My kids are out of school. But if you guys listening in have a better way that you think that you can steer tomorrow's generation or tomorrow's kids from coming in, please leave it in the comments. We are here as a resource. And if you got a better resource than what I'm saying, put it in the comments. Somebody might be able to benefit from it. Okay. How to survive senior year without going broke. With scholarships and grants. I don't know if many of, but I'm pretty good at tipping. I consider myself to be a scholarship strategist. My daughter has a company where she helps people get scholarships. My kids were very good at getting scholarships. They were paid to go to school. What I would tell you guys, this is not a sales pitch, but I would tell you guys, in terms of scholarships, that is the one way you can offset your students' fees. And I would encourage everybody to apply for them. I'm the scholarship chairperson of a few scholarship committees, and I can't tell you the amount of students that don't take advantage of scholarships. And it's just a shame. It really is. There are people trying to give money away, and there's nobody there knocking on the door to get it. I would certainly make a scholarship strategy part of my students' senior year activity. I'm not saying I would start in the senior year, because that's, in my opinion, way too late. I would encourage you guys, especially the students who are, or the parents of students who are here listening, who have high school sophomores and juniors. That is the perfect time to get started. You may not see the sense of it, but the urgency will come. I'm telling you, the closer they reach senior year, you will kick yourself for not starting earlier, because scholarships can be a great way to offset college costs, leaving you in a position where you can then concentrate on the other things that get them to college. Once you get to college, and that's the big leagues, and that's where the real money is, having to come out of your, wherever you have it stashed away, whether it's in a 529 plan, 529 plan, whether, I don't know, whatever your saving strategy was, scholarships should be a part of what it is that you do. And if you miss out on that, you really missed the boat, because I'm going to tell you, my students did not pay to go to school. I'm never going to stop saying that, because I know that it's real. Again, I sit on the board, I chair the boards of a couple of scholarships. So I see the amount of scholarships that don't come in, and there are no words. Consider a scholarship strategy. However you do it, develop one, stick to it, be diligent. It can really help you, and you'll be thankful that you did later. Budgeting virtual tours versus in-person tours until you narrow it down. Organized college tours is something that I recommend, and every sorority, fraternity, there are several community-based organizations that do them. Find one that's local. If you can't find one, or you don't know how to find one, look in the Facebook group. People are always putting up notices of one or ones that they have in your area. If you don't see a notice, just put a blanket post out there. Does anybody have any information on a HBCU tour leaving out of? And you'll get several people who will jump in and answer. Exhaust that measure as well. Again, and when your students go on these college tours, a lot of times they get, if they're seniors, they can get on-the-spot acceptances. A lot of times they can get fee waivers. All of these things are cost-saving tips. So you want to be able to utilize these things. They're important. Again, DIY senior pictures and parties. So you save big where you can. Graduation gift strategies. I don't know if you can buy gifts when you see them on sale in advance, knowing or anticipating that your student will be invited to multiple graduation parties, or you can do my tip. I'm a gift card giver. It's just really easy. Not that I don't want to be impersonal, but I think there's nothing better than a gift card, especially if it's a generic gift card. You don't want to put a person in a position where they have to shop at this particular store or that particular store. I try to get the most generic cards that I can get so that it can be utilized for a myriad of things. It could be a high school graduation gift, a birthday gift, whatever. I try to have a gift card stashed away. And you might want to incorporate that into your last minute things to do too, because it saves you some time too. Financial aid and negotiating college costs is another thing you want to do, but that we can talk about in another video because that's a subject in and of itself. But these are some things that you want to have in your arsenal when you try to think about how you can cut costs. You do want to get the most that you can out of financial aid. A lot of times people are not eligible for a lot of assistance, if any at all. But in terms of negotiating college costs, you can certainly work in that area. It's not easy to do, but I can tell you from experience that I've done it. You can always ask for more money. You can always ask for, there's no limit to what you can ask for. Ask the people who know me. They think I'm relentless, so don't stop. Just don't give up. Don't give up. If you have a goal and you have a school in mind, until the last second when they say, no, this is not going to work, you don't give up. Explore every opportunity that you can in terms of getting advice, speaking with college financial aid offices, however you can do it. Apply for every scholarship you get your hands on. Start early. Just ask for advice. And when you don't know something, have a go at it. And again, I hate to keep pitching the Facebook group. Something you don't know, you got 30,000 family members in the Black, Brown, and HBCU bound Facebook group. I see questions asked every day, and it warms my heart to see all the answers that come in. So you're not alone in this. Don't think for 1 second that you're alone. Put one foot in front of the other, and before you know it, your student will be nestled somewhere away in somebody's college campus, if that is their plan to go away. But hopefully, with the encouragement of all your family members here at Black, Brown, and HBCU bound, they will be in a college setting when they're supposed to be, and you'll find a way to get through it. Another great resource is the TMCF, which is Thurgood Marshall College Fund.org, and the UNCF.org, United Negro College Fund.org. A lot of people don't realize this, but it's not a one-time thing. They are scholarship resources and intern resources, really, that you apply for ongoing. Not you, but your student applies for ongoing. Somebody has to check those websites. I say put it on your calendar to check weekly. They release new scholarships year-round, and they can be very useful, very helpful in terms of awarding students money throughout the school year. Keep those things in mind. That won't really help you before they enter college, but it just came to mind. Like I said, I have so much information that spills out at different times, and I know that didn't have anything to do with this video because we're talking about how to get through senior year, but that's something to consider. And even though you are a senior, a lot of the times when you look in those websites, so I guess it does tie in. When you're looking to apply to the UNCF and the TMCF, when they are talking about a freshman, you might be thinking it's not you because your child is still a senior. They are talking about you once you've committed, because when they're going to award those scholarships, your student will be that freshman. So those are some things to think about as well. So you look at the eligibility requirements in the scholarships, and if that is something that fits you as well. Don't let those opportunities go either, because if you overlook them and you don't apply, you can't be in the pool of people that they look at when they're deciding who they're going to distribute their scholarships to. So we're all in this together. I've gone through it already, but I feel like I'm in it with you because I remember the days. I want to see you succeed. When you succeed, your children succeed. And that's what this is all about. Each one teach one. If you have questions, put them in the comments. And those of you who have the answers, I don't have all the answers. But if you have answers, it may not be something that you think is a big deal. Please put them in the comments. You may help somebody who's wondering, doesn't even know that they have the question. But when you add your 2 cents in on how you got through senior year, you may be helping someone in our group, in our family, in the Black, Brown, and HBCU bound family. So I'm going to sign off here, but I'm going to give you guys some homework. Please click share, subscribe, and we're trying to build our subscribers. There is 30,000 people in this group. Tell me why we don't have 30,000 subscribers. Please tell me, please, because it doesn't hurt to subscribe. You don't even always have to listen to the videos, but you can subscribe. You can like, you can comment. You can give a thumbs up. Don't do a thumbs down and hurt my feelings. I'm new. I'm getting better. But you, please, hello, I don't want to beg, but we're trying to grow. It's all right. I'm going to sign off here and look forward to another. I think I'm going to do something nice. I'm trying to get down to Howard, and I think I'm going to try to see if I can interview a few students on campus. And the reason I'm doing that, I have to do a professional development in Virginia in the next coming days. And there have been some reports on some crime on the campus. I do know that Howard's campus is open. We talked about that in our safety tip. And if you want to know more about safety measures for high school seniors, you can watch that video if you are interested in that. But again, I'm thinking that I will be visiting Howard's campus and trying to interview a few of the students who are already there now. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, if I have the time, is because there are a lot of people who are getting acceptances to Howard, and they're asking a lot of questions that relate to the campus. And a few of them have come up with the recent reports of criminal activity on Howard's campus. So I want to get some impromptu video of some students and their feelings, what they're thinking about college there at Howard, and maybe bringing that to you guys might be helpful in helping you make a decision. I think it's a great opportunity to go to Howard. I don't have experience with the other campuses other than Morehouse, but I do know that we want our babies safe, and I know that crime is a concern, and it's a valid concern. So I'm going to try to do that for you guys and bring that information to you. So stay tuned, and I really am going to sign off here. So I will see you next time, and thank you for tuning in to Black, Brown, and HBCU Bound.
Black, brown, and HBCU bound. Your source for news you can use. Let's shine a light on the 207 HBCUs where culture meets excellence.